Ready to see the future through the lens of the past? Welcome to Endtime Prophecy Stories. Here we dive deep into ancient mysteries and uncover what lies ahead in a world filled with uncertainty. But we can't do it without you. If you want to stay prepared and never miss a revelation, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. And if you find value in these stories, give this video a like. It helps us reach more truth seekers just like you. Now let's open the seal on today's story. Scientism 3.0, The Final Scroll. Chapter 1, The Glitch in the Sky. The hum of the servers in the abandoned underground broadcast station was the only sound competing with the pounding of Mike's heart. He wiped sweat from his brow, his fingers flying across the mechanical keyboard. Beside him, Wendy adjusted the satellite uplink, her eyes darting between the monitors and the reinforced steel door. "We have 30 seconds before the Perthelite AI traces the signal back to this node," Mike said, his voice tight. "Are the encryption packets ready?" "Ready," Wendy replied, her hand hovering over the execute key. "This is it, Mike. The end of the alien delusion. The end of the lie." For decades, the system had prepped the world for an extraterrestrial invasion, a final, terrifying narrative designed to unite humanity under a single, tyrannical government. But Mike and Wendy knew the truth. There were no aliens. There was no outer space. There was only the plane of the Earth, the laws of density, and above it all, the solid, impenetrable firmament of the Creator. "Do it," Mike commanded. Wendy hit the key. Instantly, a chaotic stream of code flooded the worldwide networks. It bypassed the firewalls of the media conglomerates, hijacked the digital billboards in Times Square, Tokyo, and London, and overrode the augmented reality contact lenses worn by half the population. On the surface, the world gasped. The carefully rendered holographic fleet of alien ships that had been hovering over major cities for weeks suddenly flickered. The image distorted, tearing apart like wet paper. For a terrifying, glorious minute, the projection failed completely. The sky turned from a menacing, manufactured black void to a shimmering crystalline blue. The sun was not millions of miles away, but local, close, and hot. And behind the fading grid of the hologram, the world saw it. The terrifying beauty of the dome, the glass ceiling of the world, pulsating with an electromagnetic hum that the system had tried to hide with background radiation theories. "They see it," Wendy whispered, watching the feed from a drone flying over New York. "They see the firmament." Chapter 2, The Serpent's Council. Deep beneath the Vatican, in a room lined with black marble and lit by cold artificial light, the mood was not one of panic, but of calculated malice. The Jesuit General, a man whose age seemed indeterminate, sat at the head of a long obsidian table. To his right sat the CEO of Perthelite Industries, the technological architect of the modern world, a man the public hailed as a visionary, but who the scriptures identified as the false prophet. "The deception has fractured," the CEO stated, tapping a glass tablet. "The waking metrics are spiking. People are realizing the physics don't work. They're questioning the globe model. They're questioning gravity. They're asking about the Creator." The Jesuit General steepled his fingers. "We expected resistance. We did not expect them to shatter the sky projection this soon. The alien narrative is no longer viable as a unification tool." "Then we move to the contingency," the CEO said. "The AGI is ready, but we cannot control 8 billion people who have seen the truth. The variables are too high." The general nodded slowly. "The herd must be thinned. Order requires a clean slate. We initiate the reset immediately." He looked around the table at the shadow leaders of the 10 global sectors. "The target population is 500 million. Initiate the chaotic transition, war, famine, and finally, the atomic fire. When the dust settles, They will be too desperate to ask about the shape of the earth. They will only beg for bread and safety. And the dissidents? The CEO asked. Mike, Wendy, and their network? Let them burn with the rest, the general sneered. Or let them run. There is nowhere to hide on a flat plain when the hunters have thermal eyes. Chapter 3. The Reset. It didn't begin with a bang, but with silence. The internet went dark. Then came the sirens. Mike and Wendy were already moving. They had anticipated this. The beginning of sorrows, spoken of in Matthew 24. They loaded the last of their hard drives and survival gear into the reinforced 4x4 and sped toward the mountains. Behind them, the city lit up, not with electric light, but with the orange glow of localized detonations. The system was destroying its own infrastructure to crush the rebellion. It was a controlled demolition of civilization. They're burning the history books, Mike said, gripping the steering wheel as they navigated the treacherous mountain pass. When the sun rises tomorrow, the old world will be gone. No more debate about the shape of the earth, just survival. It's the Matthew 24 scenario, Wendy said, clutching her Bible. Nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. They are forcing the chaos so they can bring their order. As they crested the ridge, a shockwave rocked the vehicle. Far in the distance, a mushroom cloud bloomed, a grim testament to the weaponized technology of the elite. It wasn't just nuclear, it was directed energy, targeted, precise, and devastating. They drove into the deep wilderness, the sky above them turning a blood red. The time of the end had finished. The end times had begun. Chapter 4. The Iron 10. 6 years had passed since the reset. The world had been remade. The chaotic borders of the old nations were gone, replaced by 10 massive administrative regions, exactly as foretold in Revelation. Each region was governed by a sub-ruler, but all answered to the supreme pontiff in the rebuilt Rome and his enforcer, the CEO of Perthelite. The population was stabilized at 500 million. The cities were glistening prisons of glass and steel, heavily surveilled, powered by green energy that was actually harvested from the ether of the firmament, technology they had stolen from God's design while denying his existence. Religion was outlawed, replaced by transhumanism. The state religion was the ascension of man. The creator was forgotten, erased from history books. Children were taught that the reset was caused by religious extremists, and that the only salvation lay in merging with the Perthelite Artificial General Intelligence, AGI. Deep in the unchecked wilderness of Region 7, formerly North America, Mike and Wendy emerged from their bunker. They were thinner, harder, but their eyes burned with the fire of the 144,000. The 42 months of their total authority have begun, Mike said, checking the Geiger counter. The radiation had settled, thanks to the miraculous healing properties of the Earth's self-correcting ecosystem, another proof of intelligent design. The clock is ticking. We can't stay hidden, Wendy said. We have the truth. They have the lies. Revelation 14 says we have to give the message with a loud voice. Chapter 5. Digital Guerrillas. The mission was suicide, practically speaking. They had to infiltrate the smart cities to spread the three angels' messages. They moved by night, utilizing old-school analog tech that the highly advanced AGI of the Beast system often overlooked. They bypassed the biometric scanners, using frequency jammers Mike had cobbled together from scavenged Perthelite drones. In the shadows of the megalopolis, they worked. They didn't use the internet. It was fully monitored. Instead, they left physical drives and printed tracts in public transit pods, ration distribution centers, and synthesis clinics. The truth: the Earth is stationary. The Pope is the beast. Do not take the mark. It's like throwing pebbles at a tank. A new recruit, a young man named David, whispered as they pasted a poster over a holographic advertisement for Neural Link V2. The word of God is a hammer, Wendy corrected him. It breaks the rock in pieces. We just have to swing it. They were almost caught near the Region 7 databank. A drone swarm descended, their blue lasers scanning the alleyway. Mike threw a density disruptor grenade, a device that manipulated the buoyancy of the air, causing the drones to crash as if they had hit a solid wall. "Move!" Mike yelled. They vanished into the sewers, the only place the digital eye of the beast couldn't fully see. Chapter 6. The Cyborg Innocence. During a recon mission in the outskirts of the capital, Wendy saw something that shattered her heart. Through her binoculars, she watched a processing center. It wasn't for criminals, it was for children. They were being marched in, wearing white robes, and coming out changed. "Zoom in," she told Mike. The children leaving the facility had metallic ports embedded in their temples. Their movements were jerky, synchronized. "They're overriding them," Mike said, his voice trembling with rage. "They're implementing the hive mind early. They're making them more machine than human, so they can't comprehend the gospel." "We have to get them out," Wendy said. "We can't save them all, but we can save some." The raid was chaotic. The team utilized an EMP burst to disable the facility's local security. They stormed the holding cells, grabbing as many bewildered, terrified children as they could fit into their transport. One girl, no older than 7, clung to Wendy. "My head hurts," she cried. "The voice won't stop." "We're going to quiet the voice," Wendy promised, carrying her to the truck. "We're taking you to the quiet place." They escaped under a hail of plasma fire. The system was furious. These weren't just rebels anymore. They were thieves stealing the beast's future property. Chapter 7. The Final Decree. The 42 months were ending. The system was losing its grip. Despite the censorship, the tracks were working. The underground church was growing. The AGI calculated that 15% of the population was resisting the ascension. The false prophet appeared on every screen worldwide. "Citizens of the 10 regions," the CEO's voice was smooth, synthetic. "The time for transition is over. To ensure the stability of our evolution, we must synchronize. On the coming Easter Sunday, we celebrate the resurrection of consciousness." The image shifted to a diagram of a new implant, a biochip for the right hand or the forehead. "This is the key," the false prophet continued. "It connects your consciousness to the singularity. It grants you the ability to buy, sell, and exist within the utopia. Those who refuse are declaring themselves enemies of the human race. They will be removed." "The mark," Mike whispered, watching the broadcast on a stolen tablet. "It's here." "Easter Sunday," Wendy noted. "A pagan holiday for a pagan ritual. They want to mock the resurrection. We have 3 weeks," Mike said. "We need to warn them. This is the third angel's message. If they take that chip, they are lost forever." Chapter 8. The Witness. The crackdown was brutal. Drones patrolled every street. Facial recognition was absolute. Wendy was cornered in a marketplace in Region 7 while dropping data cards. She had stayed behind to help an old woman who had tripped. It was a mistake. The containment field sprang up around her. 2 peacekeepers clad in black armor materialized. "Subject 7 Alpha 9, the mechanical voice of the peacekeeper intoned. "You are charged with sedition and spreading misinformation about the planetary structure." She was dragged to the Hall of Judgment. She wasn't put in a cell immediately. She was brought before the regional administrator, a woman who had fully integrated with the AGI. "Why do you resist?" the administrator asked, her eyes glowing with a faint blue light. "The singularity is inevitable." Wendy stood tall, her hands bound. Because I worship the Creator, not the creation. Your singularity is a trap. Your globe is a lie. There is a firmament above us, and Jesus Christ is coming through it to judge you." The administrator laughed. "There is no Jesus. There is only the system." "You will see him," Wendy said, her voice ringing through the hall. "When the sky rolls back like a scroll, you will see him." A guard standing by the door, a man named Thomas, flinched. He had found one of Mike's tracks weeks ago. The density of truth, it had said. Water is flat. Chapter 9. Breakout. That night, Wendy sat in her cell, awaiting transfer to the execution block. The door hissed open. It wasn't the executioner, it was Thomas. "The cameras are on a loop," he whispered, tossing her a pulse rifle. "I have a family. I can't let them take this mark, but I can't leave them." "Come with us," Wendy said. "We have a place." "Go," Thomas said. "Your team is waiting at the mesmerizing grid perimeter." Wendy didn't argue. She ran. But the alarm sounded before she reached the perimeter. Mike was there, laying down suppressive fire with a sonic cannon. "Get in!" Mike screamed, the transport engine revving. Wendy dove into the back as plasma bolts scorched the air where she had just stood. Thomas appeared at the edge of the wall, firing back at the peacekeepers to cover their escape. He fell, struck by a sniper drone, but his sacrifice bought them the seconds they needed. They sped away into the darkness, the lights of the beast's city fading behind them. Chapter 10. The Sunset of Man. Easter Sunday. The sun rose high and hot, circling the flat plain in its appointed circuit. In the cities, the line stretched for miles. People held out their right hands or offered their foreheads, desperate to belong, desperate to eat. As the chip was inserted, their eyes went blank for a moment, then filled with a euphoric, artificial peace. They were connected. They were gone. In the city centers, the guillotines were prepared. The system didn't want to waste energy on prisoners. The enemies of evolution, those who refused the mark, were brought forward. Mike and Wendy watched from a high ridge, miles away, using a high-powered telescope. They saw the blade fall. They saw the heads roll. "Revelation 24, Mike recited, tears streaming down his face. "And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Jesus, and for the word of God, and which had not worshipped the beast." Noon came. The law was fully enforced. The door of probation shut. The world held its breath. The system celebrated its victory. Then the sun began to set. As the light faded, the first scream echoed from the valley below. "Look," Wendy pointed. On the skin of the peacekeepers patrolling the perimeter, angry, grievous sores began to erupt. The nanotechnology in the mark was malfunctioning, reacting to a divine frequency that the AGI could not predict. Panic erupted in the cities. The ascension turned into agony. But up on the mountain, in the cleft of the rock, the air was cool and sweet. The team, the rescued children, and the remnant gathered together. They had no sores. The plague did not touch them. Mike put his arm around Wendy. The chaos below was just the beginning of the 7 last plagues. The water would turn to blood next, then the scorching heat, then the darkness. But their work was done. The 144,000 were sealed. Wendy looked up at the firmament. The stars were coming out, the luminaries placed by the Father. "He's coming, Mike," she whispered. "The scroll is about to roll back." Mike nodded, a peace that surpassed all understanding settling over him. "Let the density of his glory fall. We are ready." The end.
For more Bible-based end-time prophecy dramas to strengthen your faith and the faith of others, help spread the word by supporting the channel. Please like, subscribe, and share.